we got both sides. The bulk of them were in the team that narrowly lost in the recent Gold Cup final in Uruguay. Their outstanding men are Cerezo and Socrates in midfield, Reinaldo and Zico, who are prolific scorers up front. And Zico, who scored 7 times in the last 6 games for Brazil, well, he's the man who has the unenviable tag of being called the successor to the great Pelé, as if such a thing were possible. So England, in a change strip of red shirts and white shorts, get us away. They attack the goal to our left. Brazil, yellow shirts and blue shorts tonight in white stockings. And a lovely little back heel sends Zico on his way straight away. It really is a test for England here tonight. There's Isidoro, 56, when Stanley Matthews was playing, and Billy Wright and the great Duncan Edwards. Since then, well, indeed, 11 times these sides have met, and that is the only English victory. Brazil, in fact, have a better record against England than any other overseas country. Number 2 here is Edervaldo. Socrates to Luizinho. And that's Junior, eder. Number 5, cerezo. Here's Socrates, a doctor. And a good piece of defensive play. And Ricks couldn't quite get to that one. Oscar was too fast for him. Socrates now for Brazil, and straight at the New England captain. Here's Socrates. 4 goals in the last 4 internationals for Brazil. A qualified doctor, incidentally. At that time, headed away by McDermott. Now Zico. Isidoro. Zico. Reinaldo and Socrates. Junior used to be a winger, now a defender, so you can see he's got good attacking intentions all the time. A lovely ball played there. Coppell's little flick on for Peter With. And calmly getting themselves out of trouble, it was Junior hiding Zico. Brazilians look as though they might be ready to explode. Reinaldo and eder in a lot of space there down the left-hand side, and Robson across superbly for England. But they really opened up England there with a little explosive burst for Brazilians. And there was a lot of space for this number 18 on the far side, eder. One pass there, one pass there, and look at the space. And look at the defending here of Brian Robson. That could have been embarrassing. Here's Socrates. Here's another pass, this time for Zico. A little back heel for Socrates, and Clements helped by Wilkins. But they're looking a little menacing so far as their skill factor in this game is concerned, the Brazilians. There's Zico with a lovely ball to Isidoro, or rather to Zico. A goal! for a long time for the Brazilians. Reinaldo's ball in, suddenly it flew nicely for Zico beyond Ray Clements into the corner of the net, and Brazil a goal up with 11 minutes gone. Reinaldo playing the ball in there, and in truth it fell favourably for Zico, but his ability to get a quick shot in there on target was absolutely supreme. So Brazil go into the lead with 11 minutes gone, and Zico the score. The shot that time. Moment playing like the makeshift side that they are, certainly looking at the moment second best to the Brazilians, as Zico moves the ball on again for Reinaldo to chase, and he might be Alvin Martin. Reinaldo going all the way. No, I think the whistle had gone. The whistle had gone, and Reinaldo will be denied. It was foul by Alvin Martin, and Reinaldo, whose finishing was superb in the way he shrugged off the unfair challenger for Alvin Martin. And we're going to get a free kick now. There was the pushing and shoving, and Reinaldo went on and finished it, but by now the whistle had gone. Now let's see what the Brazilians can do with this free kick. Eder's there, Zico's there, Socrates is in the wall. It might be left foot by Eder. It is, and it's a save. Well, Ray Clements more than equal to that one. And so it's a corner for Brazil. Isidoro. Socrates. Cerezo. Reinaldo. And here's Luizinho. Eder. And there's McDermott. Martin getting in there. Socrates. A good solid English challenge, but it wasn't well received by the Austrian referee, by Brian Robson. But at this moment in the game, you have to say that England are truly getting a lesson in the finer skills of the game of football. Robson was making a break from the back, but the pass didn't get to him, and here's Zico again. Number 10 played on for Isidore, with coming in, or Martin rather, coming in on the far side there, and Oscar getting it away. Reinaldo. Again for Zico, who's very busy indeed. Junior trying to get it through to Eder again. The flag is up on this side. And a free kick. The right knee of Zico. Junior, Eder, Socrates with a little flick there to Luizinho. Oscar, Socrates, Zico, Junior. Kenny Sanson will cut that one out, but his header goes straight here to Eldorado. Well, here's Phil Neal for England, lifting the ball in there for Koppel. Little back heel, but it didn't come off for him. Wilkins trying to make something of it. And Reinaldo, who was never offside. The Brazilian bench are going mad on the far side with that linesman's decision, and I'm not surprised. I was directly in line, and Reinaldo was in no way offside. A front player. Edivaldo. Reinaldo, a lovely little touch again there for Socrates. Back again this time for Cerezo, here's Eder. This will come for Zico. Again, they love that little back heel, but it didn't come off on that occasion. Here's Rix leading the charge for England. He's got With up ahead of him. Socrates, who gave the ball away, getting back quickly, and then Rix's final pass not likely to reach Barnes. Junior, Zico, and the half-time whistle goes as Junior had made a tremendous run from the back. And Brazil go in leading by a goal to nil, scored by Zico so early in the game and looking the better side, but England keeping themselves in the game with a good battling performance that at least keeps themselves afloat at half-time here. Like, yep. Yes. Pardon? They are. Good. So welcome back then at the start of this second half, with Brazil leading by a goal to nil. That goal scored by Zico, and in point of fact, England have something to hope for now in the second half. Here's Kenny Sanson for them. England in the dark shirts of red, Brazil in yellow. Here's Zico, the man who scored that goal. McDermott floated in there towards Peter With, trying to flick it on, but in the end Brazil get it away to Zico. Now Oscar. Isidoro speed again. McDermott with the free kick. Floated in low there towards Koppel. Phil Neal trying to get a header in there. And in the end, the Brazilians get it to Zico. Reinaldo. Sanson making a lot of ground to get back there and challenge the Brazilian striker. The ball out of play. England's throw. And that ball not getting through to Koppel, but Koppel doing a bit of hustling there to try and dispossess Zico. But Zico finding Isidoro. Isidoro. Zico. Here's Socrates, number 8. Now Junior. Flicked in there again towards Isidoro, but Clements is out. For Robson. Played in again there, but it was an easy one there for Cerezo to get away, and a free kick to Brazil. But England playing with a good deal more purpose now in the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Socrates here for Cerezo. Now Zico. And Junior come up from the back offside. But what an attacking full-back he is. As I say, he used to be a winger, and he just loves to go forward and gets a fair ration of goals. Way back again for Isidoro. Cerezo, Isidoro, Socrates, Oscar. That's a lovely ball there for Eldevaldo. And the cross coming in, Alvin Martin has got to take command of it, and with Phil Neal to help him, and he's given it away to Eder, and now to Reinaldo, to Eder again into the side netting, and a goal that would have been of England's making had it gone in. And it's Phil Neal getting into a little bit of a panic there, deep inside his own penalty area, right there, and hitting the ball straight at Eder. And there could have been a bit of trouble. World Cup in Spain next year. had committed himself. Eder! Whoa, my word, what a shot that was! I don't think I've ever seen a ball swing quite as much as that. And once Phil Neal had committed himself, there, Eder just whacked it first time. And just look at it bend. Clemens was lost and it clipped off the bar. What an amazing bit of skill by Eder, this young number 18. Crossing it in again. Peter Barnes looking for something and finding nothing, and Socrates can take it up for the Brazilians. Barnes going back there, Socrates holding him off, and in the end it was Sanson who bowled him over. And I think the look on Sanson's face suggested that the Brazilian number 8 made it look a lot worse than it was. To Seleção. Zico. Foul by Neal, free kick. With Wilkins lost out on that one, and here comes the counter-attack, and here's Eder. Reinaldo waiting in the middle, that's a cross almost made for him, nodded down there. Oh, and Cerezo was almost going to get ahead for that one. Eder coming back for Brazil. Apparently there was a foul by Peter With. And again. But in the end, he was stopped there by Luizinho. And here's Junior. A little back heel there. Cerezo. Junior keeping the running going. Lovely teamwork there by Brazil. Played back for Eder. Cross is a good one. Reinaldo was there with a header, and Clemens went down to save. Finding Steve Coppell. And that's Oscar's ball with ease. Oh, that was a nice bit of skill too, and the ball still amazingly left into play. A back heel by Socrates, and then Zico running into a bit of trouble. And here's England in possession with and Neal's pass going straight to Eder. Played on for Socrates, a back heel this time for Brasileira. And here wide, that was out of play surely, yes, Junior couldn't keep it in. Socrates on the far side. Sanson, who's had a terrific game for England, sticking to it well, but Socrates again in possession and then brought down by Brian Robson. Looking in agony. The England players, I think, having a little sympathy, feeling that he's piling on the agony a little bit there after Robson's challenge. And the ball played in there for Socrates, and Robson going in there, and I think, to be honest, he made it look a lot worse than it was. Well, he's a qualified doctor himself, Socrates, so maybe he's done a quick diagnosis and told the trainers what they have to do. Eder with the free kick. Zico is there also, but hit straight at the wall and knocking out one of the England men in that wall. Absolutely knocked straight out. Looks like Phil Neal. No, it's not Phil Neal. Ray Wilkins maybe. Absolutely poleaxed, and Red Street there with the sponge to try and bring a little bit of sense back into number 6 did get himself knocked out. Oh yeah, caught him smack in the face, and down he goes. Well, he was down for the count was Ray Wilkins, and on the clock we have 5 minutes left now. being told to stick the sponge up his jumper. Reinaldo. It's the ball there for Junior, but Phil Neal cut it out. Then Reinaldo playing it wide here for Eder. There's his left foot coming into play. Reinaldo right in there, and Zico trying to make something of it, but there wasn't enough room for that, and Clements was quickly spotting that danger. And the final whistle. Well, that was tough luck for England, who really battled superbly for so long after that embarrassing opening quarter of an hour when Brazil scored through Zico. The crowd encouraged them right to the end, sensing that this was a better England performance, and it was almost rewarded right at the end when Peter With hit the Brazilian post. Well, excitement in that final flurry, and coming up next tonight, action highlights from the Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Dundee United, all the latest Cup final news, and of course the verdict on tonight's England performance. That's right after this break with the final score: England 0, Brazil 1.